A live look at the hospital in Rome. This is where the Vatican says Pope Francis continues to slowly improve as he recovers from double pneumonia in both of his lungs. This morning, there was some speculation that the 88-year-old pontiff could resign. Meanwhile, some are raising their eyebrows at a secret meeting that the Pope had with two top Vatican officials at his hospital bedside just this week. The Vatican later saying the meeting was to plan a convening of cardinals to approve new saints, but that explanation only seems to have fueled even more intrigue here. So let's now bring in Father Dave Dwyer, host of The Busted Halo Show, which airs 5 nights a week on the Catholic channel on Sirius XM. Father, thank you so much for being here this morning. Appreciate it.
Good morning, Markie. Thank you for having me on.
Yeah, appreciate your time. First of all, of course, our thoughts are with the Pope. It's good to hear he's on the mend. We got another, improved condition report this morning. How are Catholics and also your listeners feeling at this moment in time?
Well, I can tell you, Markie, for the last several days, it's been up and down. We got probably the most serious news on Saturday, and I happened to be at a convention in Los Angeles with about 15 or 20,000 Catholics. I can tell you the news was taken with great seriousness. People have been praying for the last 5 nights in St. Peter's Square, praying the Rosary, led by a series of cardinals. So people are certainly concerned. The Vatican has been guarded in the information they're releasing, although according to most sources, it was Francis himself that insisted that the church be transparent about his medical condition and give frequent updates.
Yeah, absolutely. And I read this right off the top. I was curious what you made of it. This secret meeting with those 2 Vatican officials at his bedside this week. Are you reading into that any sort of way?
Well, I mean, I think we could throw the word secret in front of a lot of things that have to do with the church that we typically call confidential. Although, I mean, I'm not sure that they snuck in through a back door. I wasn't there. But I mean, certainly he has been, as the press office has been telling us, he has been conducting some business. They've prescribed absolute rest, which for most of us would mean zero business. But he did. I mean, we know for a fact that he did declare on the next step to sainthood 5 new Catholics who've been recognized that are moving along on that process. There's a several-step process. So he confirmed what essentially one of his departments that deals with saints had been working on for quite a while. The fact that they brought him that and he had to take care of that in the midst of a fairly serious illness certainly would raise some eyebrows, like, couldn't that have waited until he's get back to the desk or whatnot? And so maybe they were talking about other things. But I mean, even if they were, and likely they were, of course he would need to, at this point, prudently be talking about what if there are next steps.
Yeah, and what comes next. Of course, everybody's reading into every little thing right now. So just wanted to take your temperature on that. There's also this talk that the pontiff may be getting pressured to resign. I mean, one Italian newspaper coming out with this headline. It said the Biden operation has begun, convincing the Pope to resign for the good of the church. What truth might there be to that, if any?
I would seriously doubt that there is, to draw the analogy, because I think, I'm not a Washington insider, but I certainly was aware that there seemed to be a great deal of pressure on President Biden last summer to resign. There may be some who are murmuring. I seriously doubt that there's a large number of people showing up at the bedside and, putting a document in front of him saying, you really need to resign. It's, for one thing, it's the exception. It's a very rare case that happened in the case of Pope Benedict. It's not the norm. Many people in our church who believe in what we call redemptive suffering saw the death of John Paul II, and some said, well, was that good for the church to watch him? Others said he taught us how to die with dignity. So, I mean, it's not a slam dunk that everybody wants him to resign.
Yes, some interesting and fair points made there. We're hoping for another weekend of continued good news. But Father Dwyer, thank you so much. Have a fabulous weekend. We'll catch up next week.
Thank you.
Thanks for watching, everybody. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. Also, don't forget to click that red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.